Hey, everyone, and welcome to a deep dive into a concept that, it might just change how you view those, there are moments in life.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be cracking open a text about Wei Ji,
Okay.
the 64th hexagram of the I Ching,
Right.
the ancient Chinese book of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
It translates to before completion.
Okay.
And trust me,
Yeah.
it's way more interesting than it might sound.
Absolutely.
What is it about this idea of before completion that is so captivating?
Well, what's captivating about Wei Ji is that it's not about failing.
Correct.
It's about the stage of not yet.
Oh.
So imagine like a simmering pot,
Yeah.
The ingredients are swirling flavors not quite melded.
All right.
That's Wei Ji.
Mhm.
It's about understanding that things are in motion.
Yeah.
And recognizing that reaching the finish line, sometimes it takes a little longer than expected.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
So the text uses this image of fire above water
Yeah.
to represent Wei Ji.
Right.
So fire naturally wants to rise up while water flows down. They're not exactly best buds, right?
They exist in the same space, but they're not interacting directly.
Right.
Which speaks to a lack of harmony,
Okay,
a situation kind of waiting to unfold.
I see.
The text also connects Wei Ji with the idea of Tai Sui,
Oh.
or Grand Duke Jupiter from Chinese astrology.
Mhm.
And so when Tai Sui's influence is strong,
Yeah.
you might feel like you're pushing a boulder uphill,
Oh, yeah?
requiring extra patience and a bit of a cosmic GPS to navigate.
You might be feeling that Tai Sui influence if, let's say, you're launching a new project and keep hitting, bureaucratic snags.
Oh, for sure.
Or maybe you're in a new relationship and communication feels like you're speaking different languages.
Absolutely.
Just a few examples.
Yeah.
Of course.
Exactly. So how does this before completion idea actually play out in our lives?
Right.
Let's take fortune, for example.
Okay.
The text suggests that while some initial hiccups are to be expected,
Mm-hmm.
it's important not to lose hope.
Okay.
It's almost as if it's saying hey, bumps in the road are part of the journey. Don't get discouraged. Just course correct.
Yeah, so instead of thinking, why is this happening to me?
Right.
Wei Ji suggests more of what can I learn from this delay kind of mindset?
Precisely.
No.
And this theme of patience and understanding the natural flow carries over into other areas as well, like love.
Okay.
Early relationships often involve, miscommunication,
Right.
working through differences.
Yeah.
Here, Wei Ji emphasizes persistence,
Okay.
almost as if it's saying, don't bolt at the first sign of trouble, because working through these early snags can actually lead to deeper acceptance.
This is making me think about those rom-com montage scenes
Right.
where the couple keeps clashing, but then boom,
Yeah.
they figure it out and it's all fireworks and laughter.
Yeah.
Maybe those montages are secretly based on Wei Ji wisdom.
Perhaps.
Now, when it comes to health,
Mm-hmm.
does Wei Ji offer any specific guidance?
It does. It encourages us to pay attention to potential imbalances, specifically mentioning the heart, the kidneys, sleep, and blood.
Wow.
So think of this as a time to prioritize self-care and create a sense of stability, especially when it comes to your routine and overall well-being.
Makes sense nurturing yourself
Yeah.
while you're navigating all these not yet situations.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about something a little less serious. What about lost items?
Okay.
Does Wei Ji offer any hope there?
Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Oh,
The text states that lost items cannot be found during this phase.
that's rough.
Yeah.
I guess I'll put my detective hat away for now.
Yeah.
Maybe Wei Ji's just nudging us to let go of what's lost and trust that what's meant to be found will resurface eventually.
Right.
What about legal matters?
Mm-hmm.
Does Wei Ji offer any guidance in that arena?
It recommends considering delaying tactics
Okay.
and exploring mediation.
It's interesting.
It's about finding peaceful resolutions
Mhm.
rather than rushing into a courtroom battle.
So don't jump into anything head first while in a Wei Ji situation.
That's a great takeaway.
Okay.
Recognize that sometimes the most effective action is to pause.
Yeah.
Assess the situation and let things unfold naturally.
It's like Wei Ji is saying, okay, maybe hold off on that dramatic declaration of love or that risky investment
Right.
until the waters are calmer.
Exactly.
Choose your battles.
Precisely. Now, what I find fascinating is that the text delves deeper.
Okay.
offering insights into specific challenges we might face during this before completion phase. It does this through vivid imagery,
Right.
specifically within the individual lines that make up this hexagram.
So each line is like a mini story within the larger Wei Ji saga.
Exactly. It's almost as if each line offers a glimpse into different scenarios and lessons we might encounter while in this not yet phase.
All right, then let's get into these mini stories.
Okay.
There's one that mentions a fox with a wet tail.
Yes.
That sounds intriguing and maybe a bit relatable.
Definitely relatable.
Right.
Imagine a fox attempting to cross a stream, almost reaching the other side, but getting its tail wet at the very last moment.
Uh-oh.
This line cautions us to be mindful, even when victory seems certain.
Oh.
It's a reminder that even small oversights can hinder us from achieving our goals.
Oh, I've totally been that fox.
Yeah.
It's like being so close to finishing that big project and then realizing you forgot one tiny but crucial detail.
Exactly.
The frustration.
And this line highlights that even in those moments, there's a lesson to be learned.
Okay.
It encourages us to reflect on where we might have faltered and use that knowledge to avoid similar missteps in the future.
Okay.
Even in those wet tail situations, there's an opportunity for growth.
So even in those moments where we're face palming and thinking, seriously?
Right.
Wei Ji is nudging us to say, okay, what can I learn from this so I don't repeat it?
Precisely.
I like that.
It's about viewing setbacks not as failures, but as stepping stones on the path to completion.
Okay, this is making me rethink my whole approach to challenges. What other metaphorical gems are hidden in these lines?
Well, there's another one that mentions overconfidence leading to failure.
Right.
That's the topmost line of the hexagram. It cautions against celebrating victory too soon. Picture someone so sure of their success that they become complacent, ultimately leading to their downfall.
It's like that saying, don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Exactly.
Right.
This line reminds us to stay grounded and focused even when things are going well.
Right.
Early success shouldn't cloud your judgment or cause you to lose sight of the bigger picture.
It's almost like Wei Ji is saying, hey, don't get too comfy in this before completion phase because things can change quickly.
You've got it. It's recognizing that completion is not a destination, but a continuous process.
This is seriously thought-provoking.
Yeah.
These lines are packed with wisdom and offer such a nuanced view of how to approach challenges.
Absolutely.
But I'm noticing a pattern here.
Oh, what kind of pattern?
Well, it seems like Wei Ji isn't just about accepting the not yet, but also about navigating this phase with a specific mindset.
Okay.
Patience, persistence, humility.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's not about passively waiting for things to magically happen.
Right.
But actively engaging with the process, learning from challenges, and ultimately growing as we journey towards completion.
This is really shifting my perspective.
Good.
So instead of viewing those before completion moments as frustrating delays, Wei Ji encourages us to embrace them as essential parts of the journey.
Exactly. It's about recognizing the value of the not yet.
Okay.
And understanding that completion isn't a single moment, but a series of moments.
Right.
Each offering its own lessons and opportunities for growth.
We've just scratched the surface of these fascinating lines.
Yes.
And I can't wait to dive deeper.
Yeah.
But before we continue on our metaphorical journey through Wei Ji, let's take a short break.
Okay.
We'll be back to explore more of these insightful lines and uncover their wisdom in part 2 of our deep dive.
Sounds good. Welcome back. I'm ready to continue our exploration of those insightful lines within Hexagram 64.
Yes, let's...
Each one offering a unique perspective
Mm-hmm.
on navigating the before completion phase.
What does the second line have in store for us?
The second line depicts a fox getting its tail wet and experiencing regret. This suggests acting impulsively or without fully considering the consequences, or ultimately leading to an unfavorable outcome.
So it's like a cautionary tale against those like leap before you look moments.
Precisely.
Maybe making a major decision based on emotions rather than careful thought.
Exactly. This line emphasizes the importance of pausing,
Okay.
taking a breath, and assessing the situation before taking action.
So no hasty moves while navigating Wei Ji.
That's right. It's about recognizing that patience and thoughtful action
Yeah.
are our allies during this phase.
What about the third line?
Okay.
What insights does it offer?
The third line shows someone struggling to advance, encountering roadblocks, and ultimately having to retreat.
Right.
It points to a time when progress might stall.
Okay.
And it's wiser to reevaluate and possibly change course.
So it's not always about pushing forward relentlessly?
Right.
Sometimes a strategic retreat is a smarter move.
Exactly. It's about recognizing when persistence might actually be working against us, and when it's more beneficial to step back, reassess, and find a fresh approach.
This feels relevant to so many areas of life.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you're pouring your heart into a creative project, but keep hitting dead ends.
Right.
Maybe it's a sign to take a break, gain some distance,
Yeah,
and return with fresh eyes.
absolutely. Or maybe you're in a relationship that feels like you're constantly swimming upstream.
Oh.
Perhaps it's a time to pause and honestly reflect on whether it's truly serving your growth.
I'm starting to see a recurring theme here.
What's that?
Adaptability, flexibility.
Right.
The willingness to shift gears when needed. All crucial skills for navigating this not yet phase.
Precisely. Wei Ji encourages us to embrace this fluid, ever-changing nature of before completion
Okay.
and adjust our approach accordingly. Now, the fourth line
Okay.
takes a different angle.
Fill me in.
The fourth line describes someone moving through the challenges of this phase with a clear sense of purpose and integrity.
Okay.
They remain true to their path even when surrounded by others who might be losing their way.
So it's about staying focused on your own goals and values.
Yes.
Even when external distractions or conflicting opinions are swirling around you.
Exactly.
How do you think someone actually does that? Stay grounded amidst all that noise?
It's a great question, and I think it speaks to cultivating a strong inner compass.
Yeah.
It's about trusting your intuition, staying connected to your values, and making choices that align with your authentic self. It's not easy, but it's certainly possible.
It's like having that inner GPS guiding you through the fog, helping you stay on course even when visibility is low.
That's an excellent analogy. Now, the fifth line offers a slightly different perspective.
What's the wisdom this line offers?
This line depicts a situation that's still in progress,
Okay.
not yet fully resolved, but clearly moving towards order and stability. It suggests that even when things feel messy or incomplete,
Yeah.
there's an underlying momentum towards resolution.
So it's a reminder that even amidst uncertainty,
Yes.
there's an underlying order at play.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we don't need to try and micromanage every single detail.
Exactly. This line encourages us to trust the natural unfolding of events
Okay.
and have faith that even though the path may be winding, it ultimately leads towards completion. Surrender and trust are key here.
It's like taking a deep breath and saying,
Right.
okay, universe, I see you're working on this. I'll try not to get in the way too much.
Precisely.
Okay.
Releasing the need to control every aspect of the journey and trusting that even in this before completion phase, things are moving in the right direction.
This is giving me a whole new perspective on how to approach those times when I feel impatient
Right.
for things to resolve. Trust the process even when I can't see the full picture yet.
Now we come to the sixth and final line of the hexagram,
Okay.
which, as we discussed earlier, warns against overconfidence and complacency.
Right.
It reminds us that even when things are going well, remaining vigilant and avoiding arrogance or carelessness is key.
So it's like a gentle nudge to stay humble even when we're tempted to do a victory dance.
Yes. This line reminds us that completion isn't a static finish line. It's about recognizing that it's an ongoing process,
Okay.
requiring continuous effort and awareness.
So we've journeyed through all 6 lines of Wei Ji,
Right.
each offering a unique perspective on how to navigate those not yet moments. What stands out to you as we reflect on these lines as a whole?
What strikes me is how Wei Ji reframes the way we view challenges. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, it encourages us to view them as opportunities for growth and learning.
I'm seeing that too. Each line provides a different lens through which to view those inevitable bumps in the road.
Absolutely.
It's like Wei Ji is handing us a toolkit equipped with patience, persistence, adaptability, and a healthy dose of humility.
It invites us to embrace this before completion phase, not with dread, but with the sense of curiosity and a willingness to learn and grow along the way.
Okay, I'm feeling equipped to tackle some before completion situations in my own life.
Good.
But before we wrap up our exploration of Wei Ji,
Yes.
I have one more question. What comes after completion? What happens once we've crossed that metaphorical stream?
That's a great question, and it leads us to the next hexagram, hexagram 63,
Okay.
which offers a glimpse into what unfolds after we navigate the before completion phase.
Right.
It's a fascinating transition, and we'll delve into it in the final part of our deep dive.
Okay, we're back for the final part of our deep dive into Wei Ji and all this wisdom about navigating those not yet moments in life. I'm ready to see what awaits on the other side of before completion.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when we finally reach that already there stage?
Well, if Wei Ji is about embracing the journey and all its twists and turns, the hexagram that follows it, hexagram 63, it gives us a glimpse into what emerges after that process. It's like reaching the mountain peak after a long climb.
Ooh, that sounds promising. What's this next hexagram all about?
It's called Ji, which can be translated as after completion or already fording. Mm-hmm. It symbolizes a state of harmony and order, where things have fallen into place and we've successfully navigated the currents.
So it's like all those puzzle pieces from the Wei Ji phase have finally clicked together. To reveal a beautiful, complete picture.
Exactly. It's that sense of accomplishment and fulfillment that comes after facing the challenges of Wei Ji head on. Think of it as reaching the other side of the river, feeling the solid ground beneath your feet, knowing you've made it through.
This is making me think about those moments when you finally achieve a goal you've been working towards for ages. That feeling of relief and satisfaction, like, yes, we did it.
Precisely. Ji represents that moment of culmination, a realization of potential. It's a time for celebration and acknowledging the journey that led to this point.
I'm already feeling a sense of calm just thinking about it. But if Ji is all about completion and harmony, does that mean there are no more challenges? Is it all smooth sailing from here on out?
That's a great question. While Ji represents a sense of order and achievement, the I Ching reminds us that life is a continuous cycle of change. Completion isn't a final destination, but rather a transition point.
So even when we reach after completion, there's always another before completion on the horizon.
Exactly. It's like reaching the top of one mountain only to see a whole range of peaks in the distance.
That's a reassuring thought. We carry the lessons of Wei Ji with us. Making us better equipped for whatever comes next. Does this hexagram Ji offer any guidance on how to navigate that transition from before completion to after completion?
Yes. It suggests approaching this transition with humility and gratitude. It's a time to acknowledge the lessons learned during the Wei Ji phase. And recognize the support of those who helped us along the way.
So it's not just about celebrating the win, but also taking stock of the journey and acknowledging all those who played a part in our success.
Exactly. Ji reminds us that even in moments of personal achievement, it's important to remember our interconnectedness. It's a reminder that we rarely achieve anything truly great in isolation.
It truly does take a village. This is making me realize how important it is to pause and celebrate our wins, both big and small. It's so easy to get caught up in the what's next mentality and forget to appreciate the present moment.
You're right. Ji encourages us to savor the moment, appreciate the fruits of our labor, and acknowledge how far we've come. It's a celebration of the culmination of our efforts.
This feels like a much-needed reminder to be present and mindful even in moments of success. But I'm also wondering if completion is not a static endpoint, but a transition. What does Ji suggest about how to approach that next phase?
Ji encourages us to step into that next phase with a renewed sense of purpose and clarity. Having moved through the challenges of Wei Ji, we've gained valuable experience and wisdom that we can now carry forward.
It's like leveling up in a video game, right?
That's a great analogy.
We've earned new skills and insights that will help us navigate even greater challenges.
Ji indicates that having successfully navigated the before completion phase, we're now more prepared than ever to embrace whatever lies ahead.
This entire deep dive has been incredibly enlightening. It's given me a whole new framework for understanding the ebb and flow of life and how to navigate those not yet moments with patience, persistence, and purpose.
The wisdom of the I Ching truly is timeless and offers guidance no matter what stage we find ourselves in.
Absolutely.
Whether we're in a phase of before completion or after completion, there's always something to learn.
This has been a truly mind-expanding conversation.
It has.
For those listening who might be in a before completion phase right now, remember you're not alone. Embrace the journey, trust the process, and know that even in the midst of uncertainty, there's a natural flow towards completion.
And when you reach that after completion stage, take time to celebrate, express gratitude, and then set your sights on the next chapter. Remember, the journey is ongoing, and with each cycle, we gain wisdom and understanding.
Beautifully said. So as you move forward, what area of your life feels like a Wei Ji situation? And how would approaching it with this mindset of before completion shift your perspective? Hold those questions close as you navigate your own path.
Remember, the wisdom of the I Ching is always there to guide you. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep embracing the journey.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into YG and GG. We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration.